Hey, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Primos Chidos. You may notice someone's missing, Jules. That's okay. She'll be back next week. But for today, it'll just be the fellas, me and Steve. What's up, bro?
I'm doing pretty good,
How you
bro. How are
doing?
you doing?
Oh, I'm good. It's been a long time since anybody asked me
Okay,
that.
okay.
I'm
So
great.
I'm super excited because Brandon, you were ready, you were prepared. You
Yeah.
fucking he brought a list of interesting things to talk about. So
Yeah,
let me
I was
see.
just I was gonna I was telling you before the show I was originally gonna make this kind of like a game where it was like I'm gonna have you guys ever seen on Reddit where it says what are some facts that are so outlandish that they sound
Oh yeah,
fake?
yeah, yeah.
And I was like, oh,
Like the
that's
TikTok shit.
yeah, like
Yeah,
I was like, that's cool. I'll probably do that and then intertwine it with like shit I just made up and make you like pick which one's the actual real fact.
yeah.
But then I was like, most of this is just like genuinely really interesting. I kind of went down the rabbit hole. So I don't know.
Okay,
Anyways,
cool, cool.
if you had to guess, what would you say is the most abundant organism on the planet?
Mm, like fish, like
No, that's
anything like
anything,
fish,
anything like an or it can be
insects.
whatever, just whatever you think. There's no wrong answers, I promise.
Uh, I think insects. No, or what is it?
That's a good guess. But it's actually viruses. Um, and do you know how many viruses there are on planet Earth? You know, a virus, something that infects.
Yeah, 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 I know,
Yeah.
I know, I get you.
How many? If you had to guess, how many viruses would you say are on Earth?
We count them? How do we know
I
that?
think it's more like they do like they get like a sample size and then they do math and they like
Oh,
you
okay,
get what I'm
okay.
saying.
I don't know. I don't know. That sounds like an insane number. They're really small.
So according to some estimates, there are potentially 5 to 10 million times more viruses on Earth than there are stars in the observable universe.
Are
Right?
you
Yeah,
serious?
pretty trippy, right?
But how does
So
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 I just think it's like mathematically it's trippy because that means there's like more abundance of that on a planet than there is out in like space.
yeah, well, I mean, they only exist on Earth because
Oh, that's true.
they're viruses.
Mm-hmm.
Well, as far as we know, right?
Yeah.
And just to put that into even greater perspective, there are 200 billion trillion stars in the galaxy. So, like the correct term would be 206 trillion. Um, so
Damn.
multiply that by five or anywhere from 5 to 10 million, and then you have the amount of viruses on Earth.
Damn.
Pretty interesting, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. I thought that was cool.
So you just got like a bunch of Reddit facts?
No, I didn't find these on Reddit. I thought I was
Also,
thinking about that.
okay.
I was
That's
thinking
cool. That's
about
cool.
that, and then I was like, I want to know what that is.
Mhm.
But no, yeah, pretty interesting in my opinion. Okay, this next one.
Okay, okay.
Out of all the species alive today, if they all went extinct, what percentage do you think of those species would turn into fossils? If you had to guess.
Dude, we went to the Natural History
Mm-hmm.
Museum. So like, I don't know. Like less than 1%.
No, actually, it'd be about 10%.
Oh, really?
That's still a little, but there's also some interesting things about fossils that I learned. So, of all the species that have like ever existed by our
Mhm.
estimations,
Mhm.
that have gone extinct and are alive, and well, that were alive and went extinct,
Yeah.
about and all the fossils that we found of them, that they think that represents about 1% of all species that have ever lived. It's like all the fossils we found, everything that's on the fossil record,
Yeah.
they think that might be less than 1% of everything that's ever lived.
So basically there's like shit out there that we don't know.
Yeah, and we never will know.
Damn. What do you think was something that probably existed? Is there any like theories about like what probably existed?
Well, I remember learning that. Well, like let's say if you look to the ocean, right? Like what's gonna fossilize in a
Mhm.
squid?
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah.
that's pretty hard to fossilize. Or like everybody knows about megalodon, right? That giant shark.
Yeah.
Uh,
Have you ever heard of people who say that
it's
squid are aliens? That they're
that they shouldn't be.
Cause no, cause they say that they don't have any like they're no relation to like anything in
Oh, really?
yeah, you are you
No,
serious? You
I've
ever heard
heard
that?
that people say that, but I never heard the
No, that's
reasoning.
that's a real thing. People say that like octopus are like, oh, they could be from like Mars or something. Yeah.
Do you think there's anything on like that?
I feel like they're interesting creatures because that's what we think aliens look like, you know,
Yeah.
like they have the what like
Tentacles?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember one of my friends says that he thinks that dragons were real.
What? Why does he say that?
Uh,
I've seen the TikTok where they say because like, well, because they flew, they'd need to have like super hollow bird bones, and
yeah,
that would
yeah.
fossilize
It's like it's shit like that, but also that I'm not saying dragons are real, but I'm just saying that
something
like
of equal caliber. You think?
I think something as crazy could exist. Yeah, I think something that we
Maybe,
haven't thought about could
maybe
exist.
less than 1% is crazy.
Millions of years, and especially like this is a time where like animals used to be like these huge creatures. Like there has to be something crazier. Cause weren't there like giant snakes, like
Yeah,
giant insects, like that's what trips me about when I think about like you know how you always get asked like
yeah,
what would you do if you could time travel, right? Would you go
yeah,
back and see the
yeah.
dinosaurs? I feel like I wouldn't go back to see the
How
dinosaurs.
come?
And because I feel like to me, I almost feel like my mind wouldn't be able to take it because something like that doesn't exist like in my world, you know?
Yeah,
It'd be so surreal to me that it would totally like freak me out. It'd give me like almost like uncanny valley, you know?
really.
Well, because everything's big. Like the not only are the animals big, but the plants are big, you
Mm,
know? The insects are big. Just a lot of like um opportunity for you to die, you
yeah,
know?
but you wouldn't go if you were like, let's say you were in a vehicle or something that like protected you. Like, let's say you can guarantee your safety. You wouldn't go just to
Like
see it. Like you're in a tank, you know?
or like I was in like a bubble.
Yeah, like yeah, yeah, exactly.
um Maybe, but I'm telling you, it's because I have that fear of like there's something that we don't know
That we wouldn't
exists.
expect that could do
Yeah.
that. That could
Yeah, and then we pull up and like there's like an animal of like
there's like a xenomorph.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And it ends it's literally like a horror movie, you know? I've seen The Thing, you know?
That's a good that'd be a good movie.
Right?
That'd be a good movie.
Yeah. I got to write that one I'll take it down.
We'll cut
I'll
this. We'll
take it
cut
down.
this
I'll
part.
take
We'll
it
cut
down.
this part.
But go ahead and tell me
No,
more. Tell me
yeah,
more.
I think you're completely right. I was thinking, just to throw out a number, there's about we've discovered about 250,000 species from just fossils, and they're saying that's less than 1% of everything that's ever
Mhm.
lived. That's
Mhm.
a lot of like, that's I don't know, man. That's uh, well, because it's pretty rare for something to fossilize. Because for something to fossilize, it has to be covered in sediment like almost immediately after it died.
Mhm.
You know,
Mhm.
so it's like a pretty rare circumstance. You
Yeah.
know, uh,
I think it's trippy that remember how we went to see the La Brea tar
yeah,
pits? They have like the skulls of like all
the
the what are they?
wolves,
The
the dire
wolves
wolves.
that
Yeah.
got they're like the most they found, no?
Well,
Of
because how it would work would be like I don't know, like a big buffalo would get stuck, right?
yeah.
And so like a pack of wolves would think like, oh, easy meal, but then they'd get trapped too, you know?
So what are like tar pits? Like you know how LA has the tar pits? So they're like the what the residue of oil
Uh man, I don't
above your pay grade?
above my pay grade.
Okay, okay, my bad.
Isn't it something like I think you're right. It's like fossil fuels
Yeah,
leaching
because
from
when we went,
inside.
I think that's what it is. I just think it's trippy that that's like there in LA, like just
Yeah.
naturally
Yeah.
millions of years of just being
Yeah.
there, and that just animals like it's like a time
Well,
capsule.
yeah, it's interesting because like people were around for a lot of the animals that are in there. Like
Yeah.
people were around for mammoths and stuff like that. Because so, like when you think about it, like that's what the natural habitat of the world is supposed to look like. Because
Hmm.
people credit people for the extinction of like mammoths and stuff like that.
Hmm.
I don't. I mean, maybe not. Who knows? But like, let's say we are. That's pretty crazy. That's what the natural habitat kind of looks like.
Hmm.
Like there's supposed to be
But
mammoths walking around,
you don't
right?
think like do you think the way we like run the world right now is like its natural way? Because I mean we're
That's
still
interesting.
animals,
No,
no?
yeah, that's
Like
interesting. That's
I I
interesting.
I understand like the world isn't perfect, and in fact it's like mainly bad. Like
No, I get what you're saying that like arguably we're from nature, so everything we do is natural. You
yeah,
know, I get what you're
exactly. Yeah,
saying.
right.
I get what you're saying. But I don't know. I think it's interesting that like there's qualities in people that don't exist, as far as we know, don't exist in any other animal.
Hmm.
Like we can
Hmm.
like what we're doing right now,
Yeah,
like like you don't see. I mean, I assume grizzly bears don't do this in the woods. You know,
yeah.
uh, we can reflect upon our existence. Uh,
Well, because I really wonder if humans like graduate to like then create artificial intelligence, and then artificial intelligence does that like the thing everybody's scared of and kills everybody. I wonder if like, but are they technically of nature too? Because they were made from like
Yeah,
natural
I
things
get what you're
occurring,
saying.
right?
I get what you're
They wouldn't
saying.
necessarily be synthetic. Like they'd be kind of like bio because they exist. Like they're made out of like star stuff the same way we are. You know?
I guess for like I guess to like to differentiate, right? Uh a person, a tree, a lion all exist without an intelligent interference as far as we know. Uh but like a
Okay. Okay.
computer needs a person.
Okay. Yeah.
So I think that's kind of the distinction
Hmm.
of you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true. I guess it's like a bridge you cross when you get there, right?
Yeah.
If we did make AI, like, so what is it? Like,
Yeah, you know, it's a
yeah,
pretty interesting question because like when you talk like that, like, and I don't mean you specific, but like when you entertain that thought of like everything we do is natural because we're from nature, you
yeah.
kind of get into like, well, then what are morals? You know, like, you know, because like, oh, well, that guy killed somebody, but it's kind of natural, you know. You can kind of make, you get what I'm saying?
Oh, I get
We
you.
but because we like people like assign these things to ourselves, we kind of have to play by the rules we
But I don't
assign.
know, because this is literally all I thought about when we did go see the La Brea Tar Pits. I thought about like, is life just supposed to like spread? Like, is that the meaning of life? Is it just to spread, like start on Earth and then spread through our solar system
Hmm.
and then beyond that, right? And if that's the case, then like morals and stuff, like if it's an objective in like the universe, like do they actually exist or are they human concepts? Like I know I'm not
Yeah, no,
saying
no,
like I'm not
I
encouraging
get
people
what
to
you
be
mean. I
delinquents,
get
but
what
I'm
you
saying
mean.
like on a more like objective way of like if the universe really is just dead and like we're the only things that are
Yeah.
alive, like is it our like responsibility to then spread life to the rest of the universe,
Mhm.
right? Because I mean, if you look at the history of the Earth, life has like existed through some crazy events, like the mass extinctions,
Mhm.
um, and like it seems like it's almost like a it's like unkillable. Like life
Yeah.
finds a way, right? Like
Yeah.
Jurassic Park says.
Yeah.
Uh, I don't know. And it's
Well,
trippy thought, you
I
know?
remember we were watching that video that like explains like the history of life, the origin of life, or the beginning of the universe or whatever. What was
Hmm.
it? Was it
Yeah,
the
yeah.
history of Earth?
It was the entire history of the planet Earth.
Yeah, and it talked about how like uh everything in the universe is like not really complex,
Hmm.
um, but life insists on being complex.
Yeah.
Uh, in spite of that, pretty
Yeah.
Oh, and you know, I should have wrote it
For real,
down. I should have wrote it
dude.
down, but you know how I mentioned
But that's just like that's trippy. Like, yeah, everything in the universe is chaos, but like DNA and like and like life decides to be organized.
well, I don't know. It's weird because, like, well, like I was saying, I should have wrote it down because you know how I told you about the viruses, and that's the most abundant like thing,
Yeah.
or not thing, but like organism on Earth. You know, according to Google, viruses aren't considered life.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they don't meet the like criteria. There's like seven
Oh, because it's
criteria.
like, is it? It has to have like cells or some shit, right?
Yeah, it has to have like yeah, all these criteria, and I was like, that's interesting.
So then, oh no,
Cause like so
yeah.
then like but then I also was reading that some people say they should be considered life. Because they do I didn't write it down because I didn't anticipate us talking
Yeah.
about it, but yeah.
Well,
Um
I mean, if we found a virus on like Mars, we would probably be like, "What?"
whoa. That's right. Yeah, that's a good
Yeah.
point.
Well, that's obviously not just
Yeah.
nothing, you
That
know?
that you know, that's a good
You
point.
have more shit?
Yeah.
Go ahead, go ahead.
So do you know what dark matter is?
Mm, kinda, not really. What is it?
Um So to explain the dark matter, it's kind of I for when I had
To
always
explain dark matter like you're a
yeah
fucking like
yeah
physicist?
credit to SciShow because I watched their video, so this is
Okay,
mostly a
okay.
reiteration of that. Um, so in like obviously astrophysicists were like observing the universe doing their job, and they were observing like our galaxies
Uh-huh.
and other clusters, and they were observing that because you know how galaxies spin,
Yeah.
they kind of orbit like how we orbit around the sun.
Yeah.
uh they found that like so according to like the rules of physics, something that's like farther away from the center of gravity should take longer to complete one rotation.
Mhm.
And
Okay.
you get what I'm saying?
Okay, yeah.
So like let's say you're spinning pizza dough.
Okay.
The outside of the pizza dough takes longer to go all the way around than the inside of the pizza dough.
Okay.
Hmm.
Okay. That makes sense.
So that's literally the example they used.
Okay.
Uh, but when they observed the universe, they saw that the stars at the end of the galaxy, like at the border versus
Yeah.
right in almost near the center, were moving about the same speed. There wasn't there should be a much like there should be a big difference in how fast they're going.
Yeah.
But they're moving about the same speed, and the speed they're moving, they should be being thrown out of the galaxy. Like they should not be able to move that fast.
Whoa.
Their speed kind of breaks Newton's law of gravity. Uh,
Whoa.
so what they kind of were like, the explanation for this was dark matter, was that there's something that we can observe that's exerting gravity over these stars, but we can't see it because something is holding them together. If you know
Yeah.
if physics works, then
Yeah.
that's what dark matter
Okay.
is. Um, and so based on when they did like calculations, right, on like how much
Okay.
when they did
Okay.
calculations on like how much based on like okay, so like let's assume there is dark matter, right?
Oh yeah.
Like how
Okay.
much of it needs to be there for this to work.
Mhm.
So they found that of all the matter that we can observe in the universe,
Yeah.
like observable matter makes up only 15% of all matter that
Okay.
has to exist.
Uh-huh.
So 85% of matter is invisible. We just can't see it,
Mhm.
and that's all dark matter. So every 85% of everything is unobservable apparently.
Damn.
Yeah.
Is that so? It's like, what's the explanation behind that? We're just like, I don't
The
know.
no, it's just dark matter is just more like the idea that like there's things that are happening gravitationally in the universe that we can't observe anything for why that's happening. So like the star thing,
Damn.
we
What
have
the
no idea
fuck?
how they're able to stay in their galaxy clusters, because there just simply isn't enough matter for them to stay there.
Yeah.
So they have to assume that they're staying there because of an invisible matter, dark matter. Like yeah.
Whoa.
Um and there's also they also brought up this example, right? Not even example, like this real life event of so like gravity can bend light.
Yeah.
They show this in Interstellar if you ever seen the
Mhm.
movie, like when they
Yeah.
show the black hole and the light's
Yeah.
kind of going like that.
Mhm.
That's called gravitational lensing.
Mhm.
When a giant like massive object exerts gravity and it bends light.
Mhm.
Um, so dark matter does this, where there won't be anything that we can see like exerting gravity, uh, but the gravity's there, because uh, the light gets
The light
it,
gets disrupted.
yeah, the light
Yeah,
gets
yeah, yeah.
yeah, the light gets
No, dude, you're
disrupted.
telling me like some trippy shit. You know what? I'm gonna have to put in my theories as to why after you're done, but
No, yeah,
but
and
go
so
ahead.
but continuing forward, I guess some years ago there was like a supernova that we got
Yeah.
to observe. And so like how all supernovas go, like the star exploded and we're like, whoa, like look at all that light.
Mhm.
And then they saw an identical explosion happen. And then they saw another identical explosion happen. And then they saw a fourth identical explosion happen.
Yeah.
And then a year later, a fifth one. And they were like, well, that was weird. Like we don't see anything that would distort this,
Yeah.
but obviously something is. We
Yeah.
just can't see it.
Yeah.
Uh, Pretty interesting in my opinion.
I feel like that is pretty interesting because I think about it as like, you know how people always say like, the Fermi paradox. You've heard of the Fermi paradox,
Yeah,
right? That like, oh, if the universe is really old and like,
yeah,
humans are really young, like there must be a bunch of aliens in the
yeah.
universe, you know.
But we don't see
But there
any.
we don't see anything. We should
Yeah,
at least see something when we look
yeah.
up, right? Um, I think uh I think it could be something like that. It could be something like made to like disrupt, like undetected.
You
This is
think?
like this is totally like a conspiracy
That's an
theory,
interesting.
but right,
That's an interesting
because
take.
that would explain the Fermi paradox of like how come we don't see like galactic
See, so
structures.
let's so you think like not that you think, but like what if it's like an intelligent like super alien race doing that on purpose so that we can't see them?
Yeah, so we can't see them. Yeah,
Pretty
so they
interesting.
stay undetected.
That's pretty
Yeah,
interesting.
but there that would also mean that whatever they made is
Bruh, that
huge,
was
right?
I think
Right.
that's pretty good.
Right? I feel
That's
like that
pretty
was
good.
like my
Yeah,
hole in one, bro.
yeah, that's
I was
pretty
like,
good.
wait a minute, bro. Let me call up NASA right now,
No, yeah,
bro.
they also showed that I guess all the math that they did, all the science or whatever, they put it into like supercomputers to like visually simulate what dark matter kind of looks like, and it like spit out this huge like web
Whoa.
like connecting everything, and they were kind of hypothesizing or theorizing that maybe dark matter holds the universe together, that it needs to exist for the universe to exist, that it's basically like it just keeps the universe together. And
Whoa.
they went back to that pizza like analogy,
Yeah.
where the reason when you spin a pizza, the reason it doesn't like fly apart is because it's like gooey, there's
Yeah.
gluten, and the sticky stuff is holding it together, it's like a
Yeah.
glue. So they think that it might be like that, where it's kind of like an invisible kind of
Yeah.
like yeah,
Like piece of glue, right?
yeah,
But
that
glued
that
in, yeah,
yeah,
and then
that
yeah,
hold it
hold
together.
everything together.
Yeah,
Um, but so what would it look like? I know that this you probably don't know this, but I
yeah,
just imagine like I wonder what that would look like or feel like.
google it.
Oh man.
You don't have to if you don't want to. But yeah, I thought it looked pretty trippy. You know,
Yeah.
uh, but interesting take, bro. That it's a super alien race.
Is that everything you have?
No, yeah, that's about everything.
Okay. Okay, cool. That means it's my turn. All right.
Nice,
Yeah, I
nice.
have some topics to talk about too,
Go
bro.
right
I have
ahead,
some
King.
some cool stuff to talk about. Bro, how do you feel about you're about to turn 22?
Yeah, I am. I am
How does it feel?
22 and 22. Uh, I feel cool. Feels
Yeah,
fine. Yeah,
it's fine. You
yeah.
don't think it's eventful or anything?
No, because I guess 21 was the eventful one.
Mhm.
They're supposed to be the
Mhm.
eventful one,
So
and
how does it feel to get older?
mm, I don't know. I don't know. I haven't put too much thought into that. I guess I think I keep telling you, I keep thinking I'm turning 23, but I'm not.
Mhm.
Just in the back of my head, I'll say, "Oh, I'm turning 23 this year." Oh, wait, I'm not. So I think it's like it's that. I think it's
Yeah.
cuz 23 in my mind sounds more eventful than 22. So I'm like,
What do you think that is?
I don't know, cuz I like that people call it Jordan year. I think that sounds cool.
Yeah.
So
What
I'm
about the
exposed to
Kobe
that.
year, dude? I
No,
just turned
that's why.
24.
That's why there's that, and then
Also, I get like two. I
yeah,
get 2
there's
years.
that one, and then there's 25, which is like all right, halfway to 30.
Yeah.
So those sound a little more eventful to me. I'm not saying 22
Yeah.
isn't eventful. It's
Yeah.
just I think that's why in my mind it doesn't seem that way.
How do you feel about people who though like have you heard some people cry every year on their birthday
How
just
come?
because of the thought of getting older? You've never had
Uh,
that fear?
of crying?
No, no, you've never had that fear of just getting old.
Um, uh, I mean, in what way though? And by that I mean like oh my life's like it's going so fast, or like getting old in the sense that I'll be like
It could be any way,
immobilized.
dude. Any way that people get anxiety when they think
No,
about
not
getting older.
really. I feel like I'd like to grow old. I'm not
Yeah.
in a rush to get there, but I feel like people talk about it. It doesn't sound as bad as people say.
Yeah, right.
Like we were just talking to Keith about it, about how he's like, I just feel wiser. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
like so. I feel like that sounds cool.
I feel like reaching my mid-20s, I feel like I feel the frontal lobe developing, dude.
Developing. That's cool.
Yeah, I feel like it's easier to make
Do you think
um
they should
raise the law
or just change laws according to that?
based on the fact that your brain fully develops at 25?
Well, because it's decision making, right? That's part of your brain that's like
Well, what do you think about people who say that like some people just naturally mature faster than other people? Because I feel like in my experience, I've seen some people who are younger and like it probably through like seeing having a lot of experience and stuff that happened in their life, but they're like very mature for their age. You get what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah, I get what you're
Or do you
saying.
think it's a slippery slope?
I think it's kind of a slippery slope because I think it's like, isn't it 25 when like, no, that's when science says it's done developing, like
Yeah,
it's complete
that's what
developing.
studies say.
I think because like when you talk about like, oh, somebody like do some people develop early? Like, is it like do some people develop early, or is it like we're saying they're mature because they meet the
Yeah, but
criteria? You get what I'm saying?
I think it's kind of hard to measure that because like the mind is like
No, but
such a
the reason I bring that up is things like because some people say you shouldn't do drugs until
yeah,
your frontal lobe or whatever develops because
yeah,
it can seriously affect its growth.
yeah.
Uh, stuff like that, where it's like
Yeah.
maybe you get what I'm saying,
Yeah.
like
That's what people worry about nowadays, especially
yeah,
like our generation. Like they worry about stuff like vapes and like dab pens and like stizzies.
yeah,
They're scared that like it is actually gonna like not be all like no consequence, you
it
know?
probably, I mean,
Because I
nothing
mean,
is, you know.
uh, I think there was a study, yeah, just like yesterday that
Really?
came out from KTLA or something. My mom told me about it.
Oh really?
That said that like some studies have shown, um, it was from UC San Francisco. They said that some studies show that like oh it's as harmful as like cigarettes are.
Oh really?
Yeah, yeah,
Like smoking weed?
yeah. Smoking weed. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. It came out yesterday. But I don't know. So, people in the replies were very up in arms about it,
Yeah.
saying like, because you know it's always disputed.
I think I think everything has consequences, you know? I feel like people
Yeah,
I think
it's true.
people I feel like I don't know, do what?
Yeah, no, people misuse.
Sorry,
People
there's
misuse.
a fire engine. No, I think just people think there's no consequence to weed whatsoever. Like it's just all positive. Like it's like taking your
You think a
vitamin.
lot of people think that way?
I think so, right?
I think maybe that's what the culture tries to paint,
Yeah.
that weed is like a miracle drug.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people believe it, like for truth. But I think some people definitely do misuse it. You
No,
know?
yeah. I mean, I feel like yeah, like I'm saying like to each his own. Like if you want to smoke weed, smoke weed. I don't care. Uh,
Yeah.
I'm just saying like don't pretend like uh
Nothing bad will ever happen, but
like
like
no consequences whatsoever.
abusing your
Yeah,
lungs.
yeah. You know. That's all
Yeah,
I
because
mean. Like yeah,
objectively, dude, we're talking about the universe. Like nothing's perfect, and
yeah,
that's the way it's always been.
yeah.
Look, bro, my next topic, I wanted to talk about dogs and cats.
Interesting. What do you got to say
Yeah,
about them?
what do you think, bro? What's better? I had this
What's
conversation.
better?
Yeah, I had this conversation. Are you team dog or team cat?
Define what you mean by better. I feel like you got to define that for me.
Better pets and I don't know. I guess better improvement to your life. Cats or dogs?
Okay. So let me
Because I'll say this. There was two other people in the conversation and they both picked cat.
No, I know. I was there.
Oh, you
Yeah,
were?
yeah. Okay, so let me. I'm not before you. This isn't a conclusion, but let me just say something about cats. Right?
Okay.
I think cats are definitely like a lot easier to properly care for, in my opinion. Uh, I'm not saying because I feel like some people like there's types of dogs that need a lot of exercise or need a lot of space or
True,
need
true, true.
and I think that's a big commitment. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that, you know? I'm
Yeah.
just saying that like if
It's
you want
easier to have
something
a cat.
it's easier to have a cat,
It's
you
easier to
know?
have a cat.
So that point goes to cats. You gotta
Okay,
give that point to
okay,
cats.
okay.
So that's how I'm gonna do it. Cats are definitely easier.
What about adorableness? What's more adorable, a dog
Ah,
or
that's
cats?
I
Who has
think
more dubs?
cats have the loaf. Loaf's pretty good.
Oh, where they become
Loaf,
like a
I feel
little
like,
bread.
yeah, loaf's pretty good.
Dogs, bro, dogs just in general. Like,
Dogs are pretty cute, but I feel like,
I guess they're a little dirtier.
yeah,
Yeah.
they're a
So
little more.
sometimes they're
I
like,
feel like cats are a lot more
sometimes
clean.
you have to pick up his shit,
Yeah,
like,
I'd say,
like bag in hand, warm.
I'd
It's not
say,
cool.
okay, I'll give cuteness to cats then. I'm not saying dogs can't be
Okay.
cute, but I
Okay.
think cats in general have an easier time being cute.
Okay.
Okay. Now in terms of like friendship, that's easy. Dogs easy all day. A cat can be very affectionate. Like I'm not saying they're not. But come on, nothing's more affectionate than a dog.
Yeah.
Dog doesn't care what day it kind of had. You know, if a
Yeah.
dog has a bad
No,
day,
bro,
it doesn't take it out on you.
for
You
reals,
know.
dude. Like I literally like yeah.
Yeah.
No, like a dog is like the most loved you'll ever feel from
Yeah.
like
Unconditional love.
yeah.
Yeah.
My cat's pretty cool, but like dogs, every dog I've ever had
Yeah.
is like I love you. Like
Yeah.
you are
Yeah.
like my Jesus, you know?
Exactly.
And like so dogs get a big dub for that,
That's
right?
easy dub that one.
So then what?
So that's 2 points. 2 points for cats. 1 point for dog.
Okay,
What
yeah.
else? What else? What are the criteria?
Uh I don't know. I can't think of anything else. I guess like no, yeah, that's it.
That's
So what
it.
is
So
it,
cats
bro?
win.
No.
I think I think it depends. I think it depends. I feel like for me it's a draw. I think it depends on what you
That's the
need.
cheap way out.
But it
That's the
depends on.
cheap way out. Tell me, bro, where does your heart lie? Does it lie with the
I feel
dogs or with the cats? If you were reincarnated, bro, if you died and came back
if
and
I died
God
in
gave you two options, be a dog or a
I
cat.
choose cat.
Nah. Oh, you know what? Okay, wait. No,
There you
you know
go.
what? All right, fine, fine.
You
We'll
know,
move on. We'll move on.
no, but okay. It's just no. I'll answer. I'll answer. I agree.
Okay, go
Okay.
ahead. Go ahead.
Um, it's just they're so different. It's because I feel like dogs are unconditional love, but it's like I feel like dogs are a lot more of a hassle. They're almost like a kid, you know.
Yeah.
They're like a diet kid. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Uh,
It's true. It's
and
true.
so it's kind of like cats are more pets, where dogs are more like companions. You
Yeah.
know.
That's
So
true.
if you're saying who's the better companion, dog hands down. But if you're saying pet,
Yeah.
and you're taking into account like ease, care, all that stuff,
Yeah.
it's cat because it's
Yeah.
simpler, you know?
Yeah.
So how's that answer?
They even like the way their litter box, they're like
Yeah.
stupid clean.
Yeah.
So you know what? I can respect that.
Fair answer?
Yeah,
Fair
that's
answer.
okay, next topic. I want to talk about trippy dreams. Bro,
You had a trippy dream?
I had a really trippy dream. And I told my sister about it, Jules, wherever
Yeah.
she is.
Yeah.
Uh that like bro, I had like a whole episode, like a whole final season of like a dream, and it was so trippy. I literally wrote it down. Um
Let's hear it.
yeah, let me see. Oh, dude, it's okay. So tell me this isn't a good book idea. Tell me this isn't a good book idea.
Okay.
Okay, so it was basically about like a girl who she was out like with her homegirl, and they
Mm-hmm.
got drunk,
Mm-hmm.
and she ended up going missing. And then she's like, oh, it really like troubles her. Like, oh, where is she? Like, we
Yeah.
should find her. And so she writes a book about it, and she ends up like it ends up going off, but she writes it as a fiction book, as in
Yeah.
like she doesn't tell people it's based off like her real life experience,
Mm-hmm.
and it like blows up, and she becomes like rich and famous,
Yeah.
but then the family of the girl who went missing blames her and says that like, oh, maybe she killed her,
Mm-hmm.
and and so like they sue her, whatever, and like it's this whole thing. This is a dream. This is a
Mm-hmm.
dream I had.
Yeah.
And then this is like context in the dream. Like
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't explained to me.
You
I
just
was
kind of knew.
existing and I
Yeah.
knew. Yeah, I've always
Yeah.
heard of like that tale.
Yeah.
And I was like, we were like having a party at my house,
Mm-hmm.
and for some reason I got like really like intoxicated. I was like
Yeah.
super drunk, and I was for some reason I just felt like wandering the city, like because it's a dream.
Mm-hmm.
So I remember I was there and I ran into like this homeless like chick, and like she was like kind of freaking me out, like because she seemed like she was gonna hurt me, and but for some reason I had like a very like a big interest on her, so I followed from like a distance, seeing like she was bothering any other people, which she was.
Yeah.
And then eventually she wandered onto like this like private school like campus, and like they're the first kids because I guess because they're private school kids that take care of her and like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
like what are you doing, like what's up, and they find out that she's the chick who wrote the book and became famous, and everybody blames the girl's death on her. um and she had gone crazy because she was like overwhelmed with guilt about writing the book and like people
Mm-hmm.
thinking she did it. And in the dream, for some reason, it was like such a big realization for me. I remember it like wind literally blew in my face, and I felt like a gold like light was like
Mm-hmm.
shining on me. It was like I knew like I got it, like, and I woke up, like it literally woke me up. That's how big the realization was, and I was like, I need to write this down. What do you think that means? What do you think all of that means?
I don't know. What do you think it means? How when was the stream?
It was like 2 weeks ago. I literally wrote it down. There's literally like paragraphs of
Have you
this.
thought about it a lot since then?
I actually haven't.
Oh.
I feel like no, I think it's because when I write my dreams down, it's because they're so crazy. I know I'm gonna forget them. I have crazy
Mm-hmm.
dreams all the time, but this one really stuck with me because I was like, I this one feels like it means something to me. It
Mm-hmm.
feels like it has something to do with like being like kinder,
Yeah.
like because the kids who found her was like resolving like a series of like unfortunate events for the lady
Yeah.
that was lost, right? But they took it upon themselves to like do something right and take care of her. And I don't know, it's trippy. What a trippy dream. Have you had a trippy dream?
Recently?
Yeah. No?
No, not recently.
No, I remember
No.
you had told me you had a nightmare that you were
Oh
like huffing and
yeah,
puffing.
yeah. I forgot about that. No, yeah, I had a dream that somebody was blackmailing me, and like, uh,
You said that was a pivotal part of the
yeah, you
dream.
were.
No,
I had to like,
you don't remember? It's been too far.
no, I had to like, I forgot what I had to do, but I had to do something, and it involved telling you before the person who was blackmailing me, uh, released the blackmail. I guess. So like, I had to beat this person to you. Uh, but I was like serious. Yeah.
What?
Like I had to be like, no, bro, like you have to hear it from me first. Like I swear it's that's bullshit. Like that's not
Oh,
true.
he's lying.
Yeah,
Like
like
he's twisting what
yeah,
happened,
and but I remember it felt like super serious. Like I was like,
bro. Because you said you were like tossing in your sleep.
no,
No,
yeah, because it was like it felt like I
it
don't
was just pivotal that you told me.
it because I don't remember what I was being blackmailed about. It just felt like it was like life threatening, like it was
Damn.
serious, and I was trying to like please, like I need I need the help. So I was like, if I don't get to you, like it's game over. Uh, and
Something bad is gonna
yeah,
happen,
but I woke up
basically.
before I got to you, so I was like, like thank God it was just a dream, you know.
It was the classic. Thank God it
That's
was
the
just a
best.
dream.
That's the
Yeah.
best, bro. Thank
Do you
God.
appreciate life a little bit more when you
Yeah,
wake
when
up
I
from a
wake up and
nightmare?
it's a nightmare. It's the best. It's the best.
Okay. What do you think that means?
What do you mean?
What do you think that dream means?
I don't know.
You need,
Maybe
is there something you need to tell me, bro?
maybe I'm
That's life or
hiding.
death?
Maybe I'm hiding something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And I'll
Maybe.
never know, bro. I'll never
I
know.
don't think so. I remember it being like out of nowhere. I was like, that was. I didn't like that, and that was weird.
That was pretty scary.
Yeah.
I get you.
All right. Go ahead. What
All
else you
right.
got?
My next topic is jobs that we've worked at. So where
Yeah.
have you worked at, bro?
Um. I guess on the books, mostly just at my old tuxedo shop. I used to
On the
sell.
books.
I used to like. I was just,
You should sell people their suits?
it wasn't Men's Warehouse, but you know what, men, because that's just the popular one. You know how you rent tuxedos or buy tuxedos? That's what I was. I was a stylist.
Mm-hmm.
I'd
And
sell
were you
people that.
fucking were you like giving good fits?
I mean, it was more like it was interesting because like people would come in mostly for weddings or prom, so it
Yeah.
was more like all I would do is take their measurements and like order it and set them up like dates and times.
Yeah.
So it was more like planning, and then sometimes you do weddings or like quinceañeras and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And you had to like plan out a whole like
Mm-hmm.
thing for
And
them.
did you love it, bro?
I hated it. I hated it.
What do you mean?
I just didn't like it at all. My coworkers were cool. That was the one bright spot.
Yeah.
Everybody, the
How
main
old were you
roster.
when you
I
had that
was
job?
19, I think. Let's see. I think I might have been 18 and then turned 19. I was
Oh,
there
wow,
for
on the
like,
job?
yeah.
Why'd
But
you stick with it for so long?
the coworkers are cool. And
Yeah.
yeah, and it paid okay.
It's because I think when you're young, bro, when you're young, you take like the shittiest jobs. Like when I
Yeah.
look back on the jobs that I would do when I was younger, I'm like, why did I do those jobs? It's because you just don't know, you
Yeah.
know? Like, so I think it's easier also for people to take advantage of you. Because do you ever pull up to like a Cane's or In and Out
Yeah.
and like you see those teenage kids giving it their all? Like, this is like
Yeah.
their passion in their career. And it's like, oh, dude, like they're overworking you, you know?
Yeah.
And sometimes you feel bad because,
Well, I guess because like when you work that like on the younger side of things,
yeah.
like and it's less it's because I wasn't working because like I was more working because I just wanted some money, like, you know,
I think that's everybody,
yeah,
bro.
but like I wasn't paying like a rent or anything.
I
You know
get
what I
you.
mean? I
I get
wasn't
you.
like
Yeah.
I was still in school and I was like,
Yeah.
so it was more for that, like to have some change in my pocket for college,
Yeah.
buy some stuff like that. But
Yeah. So
so
you never
like
felt that rush or that
well,
pressure?
I was always like, I mean, I'm not, I don't like need this job per
Yeah.
se. So I wasn't necessarily like stressing about it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
At least I tried not to.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
Okay.
I don't know. I still tried. I think you should,
You
you
think you
should,
should always try?
yeah, I think you should always
You
try.
be a contributor to society?
I just think you should try your best with anything. You do?
Aw, I can respect that.
Cause like, I feel like,
Bro, everyone, What are you, a bootlicker?
I guess, I guess. No, that job sucked though. Like it really did. Everybody was so mean.
What was the so yeah? What was the like
The
downsides?
customers, they were horrible. I mean, 9 out of 10 customers were rude, and
9 out of 10.
9 out of 10.
So every time you came to work, you're like, there's gonna be
I
like,
was like, literally, everybody's gonna be like an asshole. Like it's just how it is. Everybody's an asshole. Cause like I mean, they talked about it. I guess the clientele was spending money there. Like it wasn't like they were buying like a candy bar. They
yeah,
were buying a tuxedo. Like
yeah,
they were spending money. Like
yeah.
so everybody kind of was more serious about it.
Hmm.
And I mean, I guess rightfully so. But come
Hmm.
on, I didn't. Everybody was mean. Thankfully, nobody ever really did anything to me. It was more like they did it to my coworkers, and I just got lucky that I
Oh
wasn't there.
wow!
Yeah.
So
So
you left
yeah,
unscathed.
yeah, I left pretty unscathed.
Cause I don't know, dude. Rude customers are the fucking worst, especially when
Yeah,
you're like the lowest paid guy there. It's
yeah,
like, come on, man. Like,
yeah.
weren't you ever in my place? Like,
Well, cause
why is it that serious?
like I part of me kind of understands when they would get upset about things like let's say they're like, oh, like dude, like I paid for this, I ordered this, and this is like the wrong size, like this is all fucked up,
Hmm.
Or and some people would come in like the day of they're not supposed they're not supposed to like that. I remember that was the thing, like you're supposed to come in like a few days before, but some people would come in the day of their thing and they'd be like, none of my shit's right,
Yeah,
and we'd kind of have to be like, well, like what can I do,
yeah, yeah.
so they just get mad, but yeah. Yeah.
I feel like, do you think like, cause now that I don't work retail, sometimes I kind of forget the struggles of when I did was on the
Yeah.
opposite side,
Yeah.
and I'm like, damn. Do you think everybody should work like those type of jobs?
Um,
Do you think the humility behind it
maybe
is
just
pretty good?
once. It humbles you a lot.
Yeah,
Humbles you a
right.
lot, cause cause those type of jobs are hard work. I mean, dealing with
Yeah,
people is exhausting,
yeah,
and you get paid dick.
yeah.
so
It's true.
it kind of when I am now the customer, I feel like after that I tried to be a lot kinder to
Hmm.
because I'm
Hmm.
like, this guy doesn't want to be here,
Yeah.
and I'm sure the guy in front of me was just yelling at him or something.
Do you know what I always tell everybody to work at? I always tell everybody to work at a movie theater. Cause I don't know. I think movie theater it was like the chillest job I ever had.
I'd like to do the projectionist, but that's the head
You gotta
honcho,
work
no?
your way up.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta work your
But
way
it's
up.
like, well, I don't really want to work
I
with
don't really want to work here forever.
yeah. So
It's because you know why? It's because the reason why there is even like a ladder to climb is because it's such a chill job. I could see if like you got paid more and you were a guy who was just chill like that. Like I could see
yeah.
why you would want a job of at just a movie theater because
Mm,
bro, you get free movie
that's
tickets.
dope.
You're just working around popcorn all day. You're
The
kind of just because like you don't really deal with customers unless you're the cashier.
yeah.
For the most part, you're kind of just cleaning movie theaters. At least that's what I did.
The PA work we did was pretty cool. I I
Oh
I, I
yeah.
thoroughly enjoy that.
Oh yeah, when we've been PA on
Yeah,
sets.
on sets, that's pretty cool.
Do you remember
Um
when you know what? Actually, never mind. This is
okay.
probably NDA. This is
Okay,
probably
okay,
NDA.
okay.
But just me and Brian have done some shenanigans while on sets.
Yeah. No,
But
yeah, it's I just think they're fun. They're
yeah,
really fun. Even I
yeah,
mean, when you're a PA, they work you like a dog.
yeah.
And
But it's always nice.
but like
Like shout out to any PA who can listen to this. Um, you just try and make friends with the other PAs. Like try and just have each other's back.
yeah.
Cause like yeah, like you when you're the bottom of the barrel, man, like sometimes you can see some other people. I never personally saw
Uh,
anything too bad, but like you could see some other people get kicked around in other stories, you know?
no, yeah, remember Sam was telling shout out to Sam.
Yeah.
When she was on a
Yeah, the
while
thing
back.
fell on her head, right?
No, remember she said someone yelled at her?
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
that I forgot what it was. But I mean in general, like
Yeah.
come on. Like,
She was just doing her job and she got
yeah.
yelled at. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, have you ever seen that that video? I always look at it differently ever since I started doing PA jobs.
Which one?
The one where
Christian
Christian
Bale?
Bell, yeah,
Yeah.
where Christian Bell
Yeah.
yells
At the guy?
at the guy. He's like, "You want me to trash your fucking lights?"
When he yells at the gaffer?
Yeah.
Uh
I always look at it differently because like now I know what it's like to be on a set, and it's like, like, dude, like, damn,
In
he's getting
general,
yelled at by the actor.
most of the actors they're pretty cool, but Christian
Yeah,
Bale's Christian Bale,
yeah.
which I'm sure adds to it because it's like, I actually like
I
this
never even
guy.
took, yeah, I never took Christian
Oh,
Bell as that type of guy,
oh,
you know?
Batman, like
Yeah, bro, I was like,
like
I thought he was for justice. Why is he
yeah,
yelling at a PA?
yeah,
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 yeah, I
exactly,
get you.
yeah,
It's a real bummer because it's like,
yeah. It's also embarrassing because it's like, what can that guy do? He's gonna beat up Christian Bale? Like, come on, Christian
Mhm.
Bale's rich. Like, of course
Yeah, I
he's
know,
gonna
right?
like,
Like Christian Bale's is like athletic, like he
like
trains, like
obviously, like not only that,
bro. And
Christian
especially he was on the set of
Terminator.
Terminator, and Christian Bale's like a method actor. At least in when he
Yeah,
changes his weight, he was probably like ready to
Jack.
kill.
Well, not only that, but it's also like obviously the studio's gonna take Christian Bale's, and they did kind of take his side. They were kind of like, oh well, they shouldn't have
Yeah.
been recording, like you
It's
know.
really unfortunate that employees have their
I
phone
feel
on.
like if that happened today,
It'd be bigger.
it'd be bigger, and more people would take the PA side.
Yeah.
Because I feel like people hate celebrities a little more now.
You think so? You think we're at peak like the culture hating celebrities?
I think because like celebrities kind of changed in general. Like uh the great Vanilla Ice, his take on why pop culture is dead is because of like social media. He says like because you have access to everybody now. Like pop culture before was because like you didn't really have access to, you get what I'm saying, you get
Yeah.
what I'm trying to get at. So I think celebrities kind of changed in that way.
So you're
Like
saying that because like social media
no,
has
because like celebrities now are trying to be like on social media. They're trying to be like they're trying
oh, they're
to
trying to be like relatable,
yeah, they're
like
trying to
fit
be
in
like
with everybody
relatable, fit in
else.
with everybody else because like
Yeah.
celebrity now is like on social media. It's like the phone. So
Oh.
like what I'm saying, so like now everybody just kind of goes, oh, cringe or whatever.
Yeah.
That you get what I'm trying to
Well,
say?
yeah, because I remember people. That's what they said about Michael Jackson. That's why like people were even crazier for him because it was almost this thing between like artist and God.
Yeah,
Like he was almost like a merger of the two. Because,
yeah,
but imagine if Michael Jackson was like on social media posting
no,
like
yeah,
selfies or like doing like lives. It'd
yeah,
feel a lot more personal. And it wouldn't put him on the pedestal of like between God
yeah,
and artist.
exactly.
I think
So
that's pretty true. I can see
yeah,
that.
yeah,
I think it was Rob Lowe. He said that he misses being famous in the 80s. He said that when he was famous in the 80s, it was just so much better than being famous now.
yeah.
I think he does say like yeah, that just people
It
were like
probably was.
right.
It probably was.
I remember people were saying that also he was kind of hinting at like you could also just get away with shit, like as in like take drugs at the club and like
Well, because you're under a mic. Well, because you can't really do shit now as a
yeah.
celebrity. I'm not saying like, like these poor celebrities, they can't do shit. They can't. They can't
Hey,
be.
bro, they're still human.
No, yeah, but I'm. You know what I mean? Like they probably just want to like chill too. They don't want to
Yeah.
always be a celebrity. They want to.
I think that's what Lil Yachty. I literally saw a clip of him today saying that like he hates eating out because like people have no sense of like privacy in public,
Yeah.
and I guess he's like implying that people always ask him for like pictures and stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
so he's like, I hate you like just going out to eat,
Yeah.
and it's like damn, like Lil Yachty too, like
The
it's not
Super.
even like it's Drake or anything, you know?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I can't imagine like for those really high up like A-listers, I guess you could say, like for them to go out, I wonder how they do it.
It's probably because they probably like rent out the whole. Because remember when
Oh,
Drake
that's
went
true.
on a date at Dodger Stadium and he was just in the stadium?
Oh yeah. Remember
The
people use the drone to
drones to
sneak
sneak.
on him?
Yeah. So like, I'm sure when you have that kind of money, like you don't run into a lot of problems it
Oh,
can't
okay.
solve.
Okay, that's true. That's true.
Um.
I remember another job that I worked, bro, is I worked at the bowling alley. Do you remember that?
Yeah. How was that?
When I was working, it was like tiring, dude. Cause like damn, those bowling balls, dude. I didn't even
Heavy.
know how like heavy they really were.
Hmm.
They end up being pretty heavy and having to move them every day, like of every hour. It kind of like it starts hitting after a while, you know? You're like, damn, this
Hmm.
is what like people like start
Yeah.
getting like fucked up backs
Yeah.
for and like
Yeah.
and growing old in. And I was like, I
Yeah.
don't know. I don't want to do this too long.
Yeah.
But it was cool because it was working like at like I guess a kid's place in a way. Cause that's like the big customers during the weekday. Cause I guess
Hmm.
everybody celebrates the party there. It was pretty cool. I feel like
Chill in general.
I was living in the 70s, you know?
Yeah.
Or
What's it
in
like being a smog checker
a smog checker. Oh, working my job now, dude.
at the
Pretty cool. Being a technician. It's nice to learn about cars because I never knew about cars.
Mm,
My dad told me that the only reason he got bro fate. Okay, this is like I'm gonna tell you a
yeah.
story about my dad. Is this fate, bro? Is this destiny or is this just coincidence? So my dad, like all he does is like auto technician, and
Mm,
he's like really good at it, and he's really passionate about it.
mm,
Um, and the only reason he was able to find out that he really liked it was because when he immigrated here from Mexico, he was like he didn't know anything about cars. Like he was like, damn,
Mhm.
like, but I need to buy a car to get around. Like,
Mhm.
and I don't want to break it or anything.
Yeah.
Especially this back in the day, like
Yeah.
obviously more maintenance than cars
Yeah.
now. So he took a class, like a free class at a community college, and he's like, some guy there, literally just some random guy there. He's like, oh, you know what? I'm just doing this so I can get my license and do a
Mhm.
repairs and technicians. And my dad's like, damn, like I should do that.
Yeah.
And then boom, like here we are, like in
Wow.
here I am also being
And then
an
he
auto
built
technician.
his
His
empire.
empire, yeah,
His
dude.
empire.
But is that fate, bro? Is that destiny? Coincidence? What is all that, right? Because I think that's such a big part of his life that to me it's insane that it was just because of like a
Chance.
chance. Yeah, like
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it's like there's a wise word in there, like take a chance, bro. Sometimes take a chance is something you wouldn't
It's like
traditionally do.
I like the movie Forrest Gump. I think it's a good movie. The how they represent like the feather as fate, and Forrest Gump just kind of like runs with it. Whereas like
The feather?
well, cause like if you think about it, right, the moral of the story is like life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get, so you have to make the most of what you have.
Yeah.
Um, and it talks about like destiny and fate and all that stuff, and you can see it because Jenny's constantly trying to like she wants to be a star, she wants to be an actress, she wants to be do all these things because she doesn't feel like satisfied with who she is, and she ultimately dies. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and Forrest Gump doesn't really care. He just is like wherever opportunity arises, he just says okay, and he becomes wildly successful. He becomes like a millionaire. And so, and then at the end of the movie, he says like he thinks life is a bit of both, where it's destiny and choice. And because Lieutenant Dan, he wanted to die on the battlefield
Oh
because he thought
yeah,
it
it's
was
true. His
his
destiny.
destiny. And so he was miserable. But then like he finds out that like that wasn't true.
Yeah.
So Forrest Gump, the actual like genius of the movie, concludes that life is both a bit of destiny and a bit of just making it your own, you know?
Wow. Damn, that's like a beautiful message, dude.
Bro, that's a really good movie.
Yeah.
I really
No,
like.
it is. It really is. We gotta. I gotta watch that. I gotta watch that.
Pretty good, right?
Yeah. Damn. Well, there you go, dude. Never be too stuck in what. I feel like there's a good message to think about since like we're close to our birthdays
Never
too.
put all your eggs in one basket, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Just
I
go
just
with.
think,
Are you saying like go with the flow of like life,
well, because
or
don't they say, not they, I guess, is it Mike Tyson? Where he's like, he doesn't believe in luck. He's like, luck is when opportunity meets hard work or something like that. So, like,
wow,
it's
that's
more
cool.
like, I think
That's like
that's,
an amazing quote. Oh my
yeah.
god.
So I think that's what I'm trying to say,
Yeah.
is that probably, maybe.
But bro, can I ask you about your current job?
I don't have a job right now. Unless
How
this
does
is
it
a
no,
job.
but how did yeah, this is a job, but like how does it feel like to be unemployed?
It sucks.
Being
I'm
young and dumb?
young and broke.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll probably start working soon. Because like I really need money. But
I need food to
no,
eat.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just trying to like,
I
cause
remember
I
when I was your age, bro. I remember when I was
cause
your
I just
age.
graduated, and I was like, I just want a few months off, and I'm trying to at least write out the end of the year,
Yeah.
to kind of just be like, okay, let's figure out what where we're gonna steer the ship.
Do you think
So
you're would you say you're really good at like reflecting on yourself, like
I
having
think
a
so.
moment for yourself?
I think I try to do that a lot.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
feel like I have a problem doing that.
Why?
I don't know. Sometimes things are just going so fast in life. You get busy. Don't
I think
forget about it. Put it in the back burner.
like you have to treat yourself more like a you have to treat yourself more seriously, you know? You have to kind of like an example, right? Like you know how a lot of people don't sleep a lot? I didn't sleep very much last night. I never really
Mm.
sleep before these things. Uh
Okay.
but like you know how it's really good for you to get 8 hours of sleep?
Yeah.
I'm like I really as much as I don't follow that advice, that I really think stuff like that is really important because it's like people who I think you should do stuff like that, like make time to like
Self care in a way.
because like
Yeah.
I mean you're important. Like you should
Mm-hmm.
be the most important thing in your own life, and not
Mm-hmm.
even in like a selfish way,
Mm-hmm.
It's just do you get what I'm getting at?
It's important to like your health. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, because
so
people will take care of a car all day.
like yeah, like when going I think what I'm trying to say is that like when you kind of start to have a little bit more of that attitude towards yourself, it's a little easier to kind of reflect. maybe just some advice. I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like
Solid.
kind of like,
Solid.
cuz I like let's say you want to reflect, right?
Yeah.
I think you should take that as seriously as like, well, I have to get this done by 5. Like,
Oh,
like
I
I
get
think
what you're
that should be
saying.
on the same level
Yeah.
because it's important, you got one
Yeah.
life, you got to try it your best.
Dude, oh my god, yeah. That's really good advice. Thank you. Cause like,
I try.
wow, damn, I didn't. Especially because I say I work with cars.
Yeah.
That's the way I see it, right? A lot of people are really obsessed, or it doesn't have to be cars, but just
Yeah.
like a lot of things like that, people get obsessed over and they fix,
Yeah.
they really take care of, but maybe they don't take the time to sleep, eat right, take an opportunity to talk to yourself and
Yeah.
like make time for that, schedule that
Yeah.
out, right?
Yeah.
I think that's solid. I think it flew over my head, and I
Right?
didn't think of that until I guess right now.
Yeah.
That's cool, bro. I
Yeah.
really appreciate that. What do you think about astral projection?
Astral projection.
Yeah,
Brush me up on what that is again. That's when you like
it's
supposedly what
like
we were talking about with Izzy, right?
yeah, it's like a form of like meditation where your soul you can kind of leave your body.
I think
It's
like
actually really popular with like the younger Gen Z because we're still Gen Z, but the younger Gen Z,
the
um,
end of a Gen Z kind of.
yeah, they're really into it. They call it something else though. They call it like turning. I don't know if you've heard about it. Have you heard it?
No.
It's called like
I
it's it.
feel,
No, I'm telling you, like
no, no,
people.
no. I'm not laughing that. I just mean like I remember. I remember when Izzy brought up that. Was it here or was it like? But we were just hanging out when he said that something can fall you back in your body and take.
No, it was when we were hanging
We
out.
were hanging
Yeah,
out. Oh
yeah, but that
yeah.
was a trippy
No,
theory.
yeah. So Izzy, friend of the show, he was telling us that like, um, that in the lore of astral projection, like you have to be careful because if you astral project, like you could run into like another person astral projecting or like a thing or
Mhm.
whatever, and it can follow you back to your body.
And then take
So
your body.
there's yeah, and that's I mean, if you believe in
Yeah,
that lore, that's kind of scary.
yeah. Because I mean,
Um,
if you're of the firm believer that you can astral projection, yeah, it's true. That would
yeah,
be possible, I
yeah,
guess,
I
right?
guess right, yeah, yeah. Um, I don't know, like,
But okay, but I'll say
oh
this:
yeah,
the younger generation that was saying this about astral projection, they call it something else. I really wish I knew the term. It's called morphing or turfing or
yeah,
something like
yeah.
that. And what it actually is that you can go into any world. Like the multiverse is real, and you can go into
Oh
not
really?
just this world, any world. People like make TikToks. I see it all the time on TikTok saying that like they go to the world where like they just go to the Minecraft world. Or no,
Nah,
you don't think so?
nah, no way.
This was
Nah,
the most outlandish one.
lost me right there. I was like, when they said multiverse, I was like, all right, man. But then when you said the Minecraft
Well,
world,
'cause,
come on.
bro, I feel like I don't know. You gotta keep an open mind,
Nah,
dude.
that's come
Bro,
on.
I'm telling you, the TikToks are literally like they don't. I hate going to my job. They have no idea. I just spent the night like fighting zombies off with Rick Grimes in The Walking Dead. That's an actual one. That's a real one I
I
saw.
feel like at most they're just lucid dreaming. If
Oh, they're just
mm,
really good at controlling their dreams.
yeah, but come on, that's not happening. That's not like come on,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
I don't know. If you swear, you swear. Teach his own, I
No,
guess. But I don't believe it.
I low key okay. I'm a very I feel like I pride myself in having an open mind.
Yeah,
And I feel like even this for me is a little
a
too
step too far.
much.
See,
Yeah.
with these kind of things, I'm always like, why do they? I feel like
Why do people what? Why do people
I feel like if you're gonna exaggerate, why don't you make it a little more like believable?
what?
Like
Well, I don't
how come? Okay,
know.
how come none of these astral projection people ever go to like Area 51? How
They
come
said I've seen I know why.
people say they do that?
No,
Oh, the
they
government blocks that.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah. No,
okay,
that's real. Yeah,
okay.
that's the actual like
That's the
theory as to
actual
why.
running like.
Yeah, people who can astral project have said on the record that they can't go to Area 51 because the government is like projecting back like a barrier.
They have like a wizard shield or
Yeah,
whatever.
well, I mean, and this is true. Like, I'm not even making this up. I mean,
No, no.
the CIA investigated into astral projection. I'm sure that's where I bet you that's the origins of where the fascination came
I feel
from.
like they just. I feel like when they did that, that's more like them just leaving no stone unturned.
Yeah, it's true.
It's
True.
not really that they
It's true.
think it's real, but they're like, okay, but let's just make sure. Like, like
Mhm.
let's close the
Mhm.
case on this
Mhm.
because. But yeah, yeah. I don't know. I don't think the CIA having investigated necessarily means that
It's like
it's
true.
yeah. Yeah.
Is that the most outlandish theory you've ever heard?
Yeah, it actually is. I can't believe they this. So they say
No, I'm telling you, it's
they
popular.
go to like fantasy
Ask your
worlds and
little
all.
sister about it. She's probably like, I do it all the time.
But
What would you do if she says she
well,
does?
cause like I get if they want to say I went to like a world that has zombies and I fought zombies, but to me it loses me.
Specifically, like,
They specifically go to the world of Walking Dead. I'm kind of
yeah,
like you lost me there,
I get
you
you.
know, because it's like you think this is a Marvel movie, bro. It's
But you don't think in the grand scale of like multiverse, everything does exist, and so these things would exist?
maybe, but I feel like probably not, right?
Probably not like as easy to access. Like, why can't we
Yeah,
just access them? Oh, I don't
yeah.
know. You don't ever stop to think that like we're hindered in our.
Well, I'm not trying to sound like a douche and be and like shit and shit on people's beliefs, because like if you swear, you swear, you know. Like
Yeah,
who am I to
show
judge?
me, right?
Like who
Prove
am I?
it to me then.
No, I'm not even that. I'm just like I just personally don't believe that's just
Yeah,
me though.
okay,
You
I
know
can
what I mean?
respect that. The same way
Uh,
you respect their belief, right?
yeah,
They
like
should respect that you don't believe.
yeah. If they showed me, I'd be like, whoa, that was kind of
You'd
cool.
be scared too,
Yeah,
huh?
I'd be pretty scared. I wouldn't tell people about it.
Yeah, you wouldn't. I wouldn't talk about it. Period. Like,
I feel like that. I don't know. I don't know why more people don't do that. Keep things to themselves. like like
oh, bro, we just hit the one mark. But you know what? I want to end off. I want to end off on one. I want to
Alright,
end off on
alright,
one last
alright.
topic. So Black Panther 2.
Pretty good movie.
Yeah,
Pretty
you
good
fuck with
movie.
it?
Yeah,
I thought it
really.
was pretty real.
I was pleasantly
I
surprised.
felt represented, dude.
Oh,
I
did you?
was yeah, Namor. I was like, that's literally me. That's literally me, bro. Nah, but it was a good movie. Yeah,
That's a pretty
I
good
liked
movie.
that it was a lot more serious. I thought that it was like insane, like on a more of like a technical level. I thought it was more insane that the whole movie is a tribute to Chadwick Boseman because the whole movie literally. Oh, spoilers, spoilers! But like the whole movie
Yeah.
is like a tribute to him, and I think that's fucking cool.
Yeah.
Because I think it was a lot more serious than like I don't know. Recently, the Marvel movies haven't been like
Have
really
been a
like
little more ditzy and goofy.
yeah, and they could be that way. Maybe they're just not for me. You know that?
I just think they did a really good job. Like I feel like I saw some effort. I saw
Yeah.
hustle out there, and it
Hmm.
was, and I was pleasantly surprised with
Yeah.
all the choices they made.
Yeah. Some incredible acting too. Some
Yeah,
incredible acting
Angela
scenes.
Bassett's good, Lupita Nyong'o's good,
Yeah.
everybody's good.
Namor, bro. Namor. Niño
Oh,
sin amor.
Tenoch,
Yeah. The
yeah,
notch.
he's pretty good. Well, I've seen a bunch of interviews with him. He seems like a really wholesome, happy guy.
Yeah,
So
dude.
yeah,
He is. Yeah.
he says I didn't hear it from straight from the horse's mouth, but I heard from like a
Yeah.
TikTok news guy that he doesn't really identify as indigenous.
Oh,
Um,
really?
and he says it's not. He says he just doesn't feel connected to his roots like that, so it doesn't feel right to him to say that he identifies as that. But
Really?
he says he thinks other people should like explore that. He doesn't think that's bad at all. He's
Hmm.
just like, I personally don't feel very
Hmm.
connected, so I don't really say like
Hmm.
that. Which
Yeah, wow,
respect,
that's
respect,
crazy.
respect.
I think what's more trippy about what he's been saying in the media is that like he's like I guess to him he's even more shocked because like especially in Mexico like somebody who's his color and like his background wouldn't be casted in such a big role like
Yeah,
that. I think that's trippy because like I think he's really rocking the boat over there and that's
yeah,
cool, dude. That's really cool. Like
yeah.
um yeah, I think it'll only like bring up even like more amazing movies from like
No, yeah,
because you know
this is
that's also like
no, yeah, this is definitely good for like representation. Like
yeah,
I feel like yeah, he was great casting.
yeah,
He actually he pulls it off really well. Like
yeah.
I remember in the trailers I thought him kind of flying looked a little
Oh, a
funny.
little
But in
funny.
the movie they pull it off. Like it looks a lot
Dude,
better in the
oh my
movie.
god. Like big like applause to like whoever redesigned like him cuz wow, like
It looks good.
it's such like a beautiful representation of like the like Maya like and Mexica like culture, dude. It's fucking good. But yeah,
You
um
should go check it out if you haven't seen it.
I wanted to leave off on that cuz I wanted to support my boy Denoch.
Hmm.
So, thanks everybody for tuning in.
Yeah,
My sister will be back next week, but
he won't be
yeah,
here.
I probably won't be
So
here. But that's cool. We're getting like
yeah,
a 2-on-2. I've
yeah,
that's to me, I'm more hyped for that one because that one's
yeah.
the
It's the
I've never
that's
seen that
never
one.
before seen content
Yeah,
there. So
yeah.
tune in.
It's gonna be. I'm sure it's gonna have everybody
Should we say
laughing
that?
on the.
Should we say that one for? Oh, come on. That was gonna be great.
I better see my sister laughing fucking every 10 seconds, dude. You better come with
She
the
does not
jokes.
like our jokes
She
at all.
does, bro. You just have to like You have to Jordan that shit.
Are
You
you
know.
watching right now, Julie?
I hope she is.
Yeah. Oh, we didn't even look at the comments. Whoops. Let's
Yeah.
look at them real quick. Real quick.
All right. Let me see. Let me see what comments. Oh, she
Oh
is
wow, she is
here.
watching.
Wow.
Wow.
Hey, Julie. Shout out to you. Well, we'll see you here next week.
Yeah.
Bye, Julie. Julie,
Bye.
if you're listening, wait. Put in one more comment. I'm gonna give you 2 seconds. I saw a viewer leave. She probably left.
Yeah.
All right. We'll see you guys next week. Bye. Oh, she's right
Wow.
there.
Bye, Julie.
The good ending.